60. Forced diversity is a right-wing dog whistle, not a criticism. I do completely agree with that, that generally anyone saying forced diversity is probably a right wing asshole, but at the same time, what she's saying here is often used as a defense by people who are doing bad faith representation.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say Patricia Taxon has a great video on this exact subject, and I may link that because it's so much more nuanced and better than this rule.
Yeah, go listen to her about this.
Yes.
61. Reclaimed slurs are not universal, and as such should never be included in a work.
I look. I don't know what to say about this.
The stupidness of that should be self-evident. What's really funny is, well, obviously, she is realistically probably thinking about the word queer, but what she doesn't also understand is that there she's basically saying black people can't say the N-word.
Yeah, that's really strange.
Like, are we gonna tell generations of hip-hop and gangster rap artists who have been telling their stories in a unique medium they pioneered and created, no, you can't use this word? Are we going to tell Spike Lee, I'm really liking this script for Malcolm X, but can we tone down this language a little because reclaimed slurs aren't
It,
universal?
it, it doesn't it doesn't matter because this is about children's cartoons and it's not about rap music, which I don't know if Lily Orchard knows are also written.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Like, oh. 62. Oppressed people fighting against their oppressors are not villains. No, I don't care if you think they went too far. Not all of those who respond with violence are wrong, and not all of those who preach non-violence are right to do so. Yep, I agree with that.
Yep.
Fair enough.
No. Yeah. agreement.
Alright,
Addendum. Fuck the Faunus. They're stupid.
but that's just because it's badly written.
Yeah, just because it's badly written.
63. Related to the above, a good spin on the heroes who never kill mantra is to highlight how refusing to kill a villain, who later goes on to kill more innocent people, makes the hero responsible for those deaths. There's a free story theme for you.
Steven Universe.
Yeah, is it's just that again, isn't it?
It's just Steven Universe.
Because the fact is, a lot of things have done that theme, but what Lily doesn't seem to get is that like this exact theme is often used to bolster characters who are murderous, shoot first, ask questions later cops.
Oh, like they learn from this?
Well, like what I'm saying is like, how many characters have you seen in things that are like the Dirty Harry types who are like, I once did things by the book. I didn't extrajudicially arrest someone without extra evidence or shoot him.
Oh,
and then he
yeah.
killed somebody. So since then, I just always trust my gut and shoot people.
Yeah, it's very, very Judge Dredd.
Exactly, it's that exact same logic, and this is someone who claims to be anti-fascist.
My goodness. Ugh.
But yeah, it needs to be said, this is a staple theme of propaganda pieces.
Yeah, totally.
64. If you're writing fantasy and you have no issues having dragons in your world, but suddenly think people of colour are unrealistic because something medieval Europe, you're a huge turd and an idiot. I agree.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's true.
65. Sexual tension and chemistry are not the only indicators of a potential relationship, and in a relationship is the quickest thing to fade. Again, this so explains why she thinks Charlie and Vaggie are an ideal couple.
This is just, and this is just a rule we've already heard again.
Just sex bad.
And it's also just like, don't ever think that Rey and Kylo had an interesting relationship.
Oh, and again, more Husband Hotel. The best potential romantic partner for a character is her best friend. They're best friends for a reason. Lily, has it not also occurred to you that platonic and romantic love work on different levels?
That's not, like, what are we saying? Are we saying that Wander and Sylvia should be shipped? Like, what is
it's
this?
just, again, it's just justifying, like, the best romantic relationships are the ones I like. So make sure to write them all like that. Again, the thing
Oh
is,
my god.
the point is of these last couple, not to say you can't do this, just that it shouldn't be a fucking rule.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's fine to have preferences. In fact, I would go as far as to say all of this creative exercise is in cultivating your own taste and your own preferences and seeking out experiences that speak to you.
Rule 67, I don't want X character to be defined by her relationships, is a stupid philosophy to have. Everyone's defined by their relationships. That's how human beings work. That is a bad faith rule, because when people say that, they mean romantic relationships, and people aren't defined by their romantic relationships.
Yes, and also clearly we see Lily's bias towards like this very specific type of romantic relationship the whole way, and is responding directly to the way people criticize that relationship. People who have different taste. So this rule exists to head off criticism as being false or subjective.
Yeah, and it's in bad faith. It is in bad faith. Anyway, 68. If you don't want a character to only be remembered for a romantic subplot, don't end the story on that subplot reaching its conclusion. Give it time to sink in and become the new normal for the viewer. The memorable moment will always be the last moment. I don't even know what to say about it's going deeper down the same rabbit hole in a way that this isn't a useful writing tip.
No, this is not.
Because for this to be a useful writing tip, so many other things have to be the case.
You know what's really frustrating? As a person who's seen any amount of Lily Orchard's content, all of this is stuff I already knew that she believed. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just somebody who has clearly got like a one-track agenda when it comes to storytelling. Just saying things that she's been saying for years, but on Twitter. That's all this is, and I'm really disappointed.
69. Nice. Slober... Keep doing it.
Shut up.
Thank God there's not 420 of these rules, or I'd be incorrigible.
Damn.
Anyway,
I don't think
That's
my
a
brain
writer
would
word. Feel
survive.
free to use that one at home. Slow burn does not mean taking forever to get together. It means full series of long romantic subplot. Getting together is the start of the romantic subplot, not the end. But Lily, slow burn can also mean taking forever to get together.
It can mean anything. I feel like I'm infected by the slow burn sloth the longer that we
Yeah.
talk about Lily Orchard.
No, exactly. Slowly, my brain is melting out my ears.
Oh my god.
Right. 70. Sexual awakening is not a real character arc. Yes, it is.
What the?
You're
the
wrong.
Fuck, it isn't. Okay, I'm sorry.
Like,
then
Lily,
what is?
people's sexualities can be such a huge fucking part of their identity.
What do you think Anna is doing in Frozen the whole time? What do you think her character arc is?
It's again. And it's like, but because I don't like this personal thing, I don't believe it should exist.
It's so stupid. Also, sexual awakening stories don't have to be like risque. They like that is just a thing that can happen to people where they come to those
Yeah.
conclusions like emotionally and like internally. It doesn't have to include like promiscuous content. It doesn't have to not either.
We've written a movie. We've written a movie that's kind of a sexual awakening story.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. This is weird. Like,
Yeah.
this pivotal stage of development is not is not a character arc.
They can be sweet and tender and coffee shoppy, just like you like, Lily.
They have to already have had their sexual awakening. because how else will, from moment one of the story, they already be my fetish? Yeah, that's right, I said it.
Again, go back to Hazbin Hotel. How will they not already have a half-hearted and underdeveloped relationship in episode 1 that is so vague I can impose any headcanon on it?
Might as well have named her Vaggie.
God, imagine if they did that. Wouldn't that be stupid?
Help, help, help.
But yeah, no, that's, again, just a horrific thing to say because that's such a huge part of so many people's lives and identities, and you do not have the right to shit on that. 71. The only people who... identities, and you do not have the right to shit on that. 71. The only people who think boob armor makes sense are people who have not touched a boob.
We've already... done boob armor! We've already done it!
And as well, again, I'm not defending sexualized armor, but like, and I saw this in the comments. Someone saying like, someone just said my triple D self would be inclined to disagree. Some of us like need the room.
They've never touched their own boobs, clearly. They've never touched their own boobs.
But like, in all seriousness though, like, some people legitimately just have really big boobs.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it seems like unlike Lily, you and I don't see boobs as inherently sexual things.
I mean,
some people just need the space.
I think there's a, I think the key difference here is that, like, yes, I really do like boobs, but I'm not going to tell people what to do with their boobs.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's just a rehash, not writing advice. Yeah. No fucking point. 72. The bow and arrow are strength weapons, not dexterity weapons. Female characters who do archery should naturally be very physically strong. Longbows have a draw weight of 80 to 150 pounds. Rangers are always stronger than warriors. Deal with it.
God.
Again,
wow, that's not...
It's just a personal
what
grievance.
Whoa! Oh my god, what are we in right now? We're just in really specific, like... These were supposed to be universal rules. There could have been 10 of these!
We're in a cloud of brain farts. 73. The best way to avoid tokenism is multiple characters. Yes, we said that earlier, and that would have erased a number of the other rules.
Oh my god. Next.
74. Want an easy way to become more accustomed to diverse casts? Limit your straight white cis characters to one of each. Those can be 3 characters of each trait, or pack it all into one character, but only one of each. Or again, alternatively, just have diverse characters.
Okay.
You don't need to play these stupid fucking mind games.
Limit yourself so that you can like the idea that like someone is going to need to like get an electric shock every time they do something that is slightly traditional in terms of story.
Again, what does it say about Lily that she assumes the people reading her tweets are this stupid?
I think that, like, this can only mean that she needed these rules.
75. Don't be afraid of failure and backlash. If someone is screaming at you about how a character you made is racist, that is literally free writing advice that someone is just giving to you.
Whoa.
Look on the bright side of life for it. For a change.
But
hire a sensitivity reader, or ask like a friend who you trust who is in like a marginalized group that you're writing about. Hey, would it be chill if you like had to read through this and just let me know if I've done anything stupid here? But again, that would require you to have a diverse selection of friends.
Oh my god.
26. People of color and LGBTA people are allowed to just exist. Don't feel you have to cover bigotry just because they're in the story. In fact, people will be happier if you don't have these characters defined by suffering, is itself as a tired trope.
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. 77. I just want my readers/viewers to have fun is an excellent attitude hit to have when it comes to storytelling.
And I don't know that Lily believes in this, but Moving on.
I mean, sometimes, like with Hereditary, a great piece of art, you want to put your people through the fucking ringer. It depends. On the story you're telling.
Yeah, okay.
78. As a general rule, slice of life has always been a more popular genre than action slice. Adventure.
Shut up! Again with this?
Like, again, just...
Ross and Rachel's terrible, but Friends is better than any anime!
Yeah, it's literally just... Make everything a bullshit, no conflict, no sex, no violence, fucking coffee shop AU. Where everyone is wearing gloves and holding hands in a hypoallergenic bubble tea bar.
This is just, like, no wonder Lily Orchard started with My Little Pony and was so disappointed in Steven Universe, because Steven Universe could have been this show, like, could have been the show that Lily Orchard's describing, but decided to go somewhere else, which, by the way, everyone knows how I feel about Steven Universe.
Let's not go there. 79. Feature creep is a problem in storytelling as well. You don't have to cram every single idea, reference, and homage you can think of into a story. You can save ideas for another time.
Yep.
Yep, I agree with that. 80. D&D alignments are terrible metrics for character design. They're meant as a quick reference for improvisation in a tabletop role-playing game environment, and shouldn't be taken outside of that environment. Yeah, they can.
Yeah. Like they shouldn't be used even at the D&D table. They're not the entire basis.
They shouldn't be the end. They shouldn't. Be the end of your character development, but you can sure as fuck
Rule
use
number
them.
1: don't write shallow characters. Rule number 2: we're done. That's the only good advice.
81. When writing LGBTA characters, stay as far away from Rocky Horror Picture Show as you possibly can. Some gay people hold it up as a meaningful part of our culture. It is not. It's a transmisogynistic nightmare made by an actual TERF, not a reference guide for anything. Fact is, I've not seen this movie, and I don't think I tick the right boxes to be able to comment on it, even if I had. But it seems like a matter of opinion.
Yeah, I
Shall
think
we move
let's
on?
not talk about it, but also just bringing up specific works again has no place on this list. It's like the Infinity Train thing.
Exactly. 82. The Q slur as a concept tacitly reinforces heteronormativity by casting LGBTA people as inherently strange. In no big deal representation, the word should be avoided. Normalizing LGBTA people and the Q slur are like oil and water and don't go together. Again, I think it's worth having context. You can probably see this on the screen right now, but the fact that that has 20 likes and 43 replies. Probably tells you what you need to know about that one.
That's just, we've heard this. We've heard it before, Lily.
Yeah, again, we've done this dance before, and it was boring the first time. Rule 83, rape is an unforgivable crime, much more so than killing. Killing can potentially be justified in a story without becoming a villain. Rape cannot. Agreed.
Yep.
Moving on. 84. Sex scenes are never necessary. You want to include one if you want to include one just because you're horny, then more power to you. But any attempt to justify it as important to the story will get you laughed at. Again, objectively wrong. It's just sex shaming.
Yeah, that's not true at all. Anything that any human being can do can be a part of a story. This rule, if you take out the weird sex shaminess, this is the rule of never show a character go to the bathroom ever. It doesn't belong in the story.
Yeah, no, exactly. Meg pointed this out earlier. I believe it was Roger Ebert who said something like, well, in a sense, you could, if you wanted to be super reductive, say that all human action presented in movies is unnecessary because these fictional characters aren't bound by the same rules as, like, actual humans. But, like...
It's so just... I balk at the criticism that, like, sex scenes only exist in stories because the author was horny.
Yeah, no, that's just such a... Again, this is a person who only watches children's cartoons, movies owned by Disney, and the odd video game. This is this person's only frame of reference.
I'm tempted to call projection at a certain point.
Yeah, no, genuinely, I think this is someone who is just kind of a slut shamer in real life, or at the very least a sex shamer, just applying those same things. To, oh, you have sex, you're disgusting. Like, I identify as asexual, but I personally think, like, I wholeheartedly reject other ace people who like to normalize sex shaming, even as a joke. Because when you sex shame, you are sex shaming queer people. Sorry, you are sex shaming not straight people. That better for you, Lily? But yeah, you are sex shaming all those. You are sex shaming women. You are sex shaming sexual assault survivors who are trying to reclaim their sexuality, for whom reclaiming sexual agency is a huge fucking deal for them. Like, you don't get to say all of this is only ever in stories because it makes the author horny. That is a pathetic and childish way to engage with
And
that.
I will say, too, that you practice what you preach because you've written a lot of stories with sex scenes in them. And, like, I've co-written our feature script with you that features a number of sex
Yeah.
scenes, but you were the one who came up with the original premise of that. And like, you know, it wasn't just like as soon as you brought the straight heterosexual male in that, you know, suddenly the script got horny. It was a horny premise that I helped write.
No, exactly, because, yeah, like I said, I'm an ace guy. And I've written a shitload of sex scenes and things, and you know why? Because they had narrative utility, not because they made me
Well,
horny.
there you go.
Anyway, moving on. '85. Strong characters can still cry and need support from others. Vulnerability is not a character
This is
flaw.
just the other rule. This
I
is
don't.
just a repeat of the other rule with women.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, I don't think anyone is saying this
No.
either. Like, no one who is not a fucking Chudmeister anyway is
Yeah,
saying
only
this.
dumb people say this. Only people who put like the crying Ray in their thumbnail and go like, strong house. Like, only those people.
No,
would do
exactly,
this, yeah.
exactly. And those people are beyond help anyway. 86. Peak TV is a fancy way of saying addiction-fueled misery porn. Not writing advice.
Not writing advice.
Just a
That's
screed.
nothing. Yep.
Moving on. 87. Addiction-based storytelling relies on serialization, cliffhangers, shocking twists, constantly raised stakes, and an obsession with foreshadowing to get people to watch. Not because they're enjoying themselves, but because they're stuck on attention horn.
I agree with. With this one. This might be actually why I got into Lily's work in the first place, because
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. There are good and bad ways to do that. What this sounds like to me is this moment in Peep Show where Superhands, who is one of the characters who runs a band with another character called Jeremy, they're sitting in the office of a music producer, and he turns around and he says, "You can't trust these producer types. All they want to do is give you a nice big advance on your work, promote and distribute your stuff, and make a profit for you and them."
I think okay, we can move on after this, but I think this is the thing. This is the core of why I found Lily Orchard's work so fascinating in the past, and it's also like something that I've been trying to say better than she ever could.
But you know now that when she says this, she's not saying what you're saying. You know that basically when she's saying this, based on the context from the other rules, what she's saying is everything needs to be a coffee shop,
Well,
AU.
and she's also saying the people who want something else are addicts, which again, she's stigmatizing actual drug addicts through this.
Oh, and by the way, next one, 87, part 2. By the end, the viewer is only watching for closure because they've already invested so much and they need their fix in order to feel like it was worth it. This is the same business model soap operas use. Well, yeah, Lily, in bad iterations of this, but good dramas use those same tactics, and they're great.
This to me just seems like she's upset that any story doesn't conclude or that has something it's building toward. Oh man, this is rough.
To me, the way she's presenting this is like saying hammers are bad because you can beat someone to death with a hammer, not knowing that like you can also build a house or put up some shelves.
I don't
with them.
know.
It's all in how this incredibly neutral tool is
Magnifying
used.
glasses, you can burn ants with them. I don't like them. I don't use them.
Exactly. 88. If the sunk cost fallacy didn't exist, shows like Steven Universe and Game of Thrones would have been cancelled by season 2. Get over it.
Don't stop. They're over.
Jesus.
They're over.
Like, watch. Something else, you fucking loser.
Oh
I'm sorry, I know this is ad hominem,
no.
but like...
I think that that's warranted because because we need to stop talking. Collectively, we need to stop talking about Steven Universe and Game of Thrones. We all need to shut up about it forever.
Yeah, it's been over a year since Game of Thrones ended, and if not over a year, coming up on a year since Steven Universe Future ended. So just shut the fuck
I
up.
I want us to move on because I care.
Yeah, no, exactly. This would be like, oh, you know, that I had some real issues with Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. Like,
Lily is just the person who's like, I fucking hate this dead horse. I fucking hate this stupid dead horse. Yeah. It's like, Lily, just bury the horse.
Exactly. And let's be honest, she keeps talking about it because the only thing anyone knows her fucking channel from is the fact that she did that video about Steven Universe.
Yeah, 100%. Well, there was the Legend of Korra one before that, so. So,
89. Hardcore fans will tell you that continuity is the most important thing. They're wrong. But Lily, it is an important thing.
Yeah, it's not, like, I think she's just arguing about, like, vaguely, like, expanded universe Star Wars people. Like,
what a stupid thing to say as a writing rule, because continuity just means if you repeatedly change the continuity, you are punishing fans for paying attention. 90.
Okay.
This is too political is a complaint only made by conservatives when a story acknowledges that non-white and non-straight people exist. The existence of other kinds of people is not political. Ignore these complaints. Not writing advice. 91. The Little Mermaid and Cinderella are more feminist than Beauty and the Beast.
That's not! Oh my god, shut up, Jordan Peterson!
92. If you want to know when to change a trans character's pronouns in the narration, doing so at the moment when they realise who they are and admit it to themselves out loud is chef's kiss.
That's fine.
I don't have anything to say about that. Not trans. No comment. Uh, 93. As long as it isn't harmful or bigoted, you don't have to justify any story decisions made on the basis of self-indulgence.
Except for sex scenes. Except for sex scenes, because you can't.
Yeah.
They can't advance the narrative.
Except for sex scenes and booby armor.
Oh my god, so stupid.
What a bunch of shit.
What a load.
94. Vampires/werewolves are not inherently LGBTA coded. And doing so is an example of othering. They work better as metaphors for aristocracy and predators, respectively, than as the underclass. Never use these two fictional legendary archetypes for anything other than the themes I want them to
never.
mean.
Even though these are both incredibly like well used story tropes and could represent almost anything given the right story. Never do it. Don't.
I mean, the number of things where, like, monsterization has been used as a metaphor for, like, puberty and coming of age, from fucking Teen Wolf to Ginger Snaps, like, nah, throw that all out the fucking window.
Yeah, just,
Like,
just just don't ever. They are only
Vampire is used as a metaphor for addiction in Being Human, stuff like that. Like, only use them as aristocracy and predators, as though the aristocracy is a fucking salient thing to be making comments on in the year of our Lord 2020.
Oh my god.
95. Some of the best stories ever were written as an act of spite. I agree.
Yeah, some of the best Twitter comment threads were not.
Yeah, exactly. 96. Any system of government, with the exception of fascism, can exist in a positive or negative context. Monarchies are not always inherently evil. See Hawaii pre-annexation, and democracies are not always inherently good. See USA. Right,
This
accordingly.
is dangerous. And also too politically charged to even get into, because I don't know what they're even saying.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just like, can't touch it. Don't have the time or the knowledge. 97. Lesbian is still on good terms with boyfriend from before coming out. It's a really cute friendship trope, and vice versa. I guess that's a tip.
Yeah.
Don't know what the fuck I should take from that, but okay. Write this thing I like seeing. 98. 98. The only real difference between an extremely close platonic relationship and a romantic relationship is what the people involved choose to call it. Best friends are not something that should ever be prefixed with the word just. Again, that's such a highly subjective
Yeah, that doesn't
thing.
work for everybody.
And it's just...
like, that's not...
Yeah, it's not... Like, again, if that is how you and your, like, partners and friends perceive it, fine and dandy.
But, like...
But not everyone has to think like you.
Romantic relationships, it's really, really complicated. There's not just one way to do it. There's so many other... And the fact that Lily would spend so much time in this, you know, talking about LGBT people, and then it has to, like, reach a certain conclusion no matter what, just shows that, like, it's really not about being open-minded. It's about adhering to the specific way that Lily likes relationships. I guarantee you, if Lily was a different person with this same framework, like they would be writing stories in which like whatever their sexuality and ethnicity was the right way to go.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the reality is, I think something we've learned throughout this whole thing, and an important message for everyone at home, both in writing and in life, is that if your only fucking reference point for relationships is children's cartoons, you are going to have an extremely blunt, binary, reductive, and frankly silly and childish perspective on the incredibly nuanced minefield that is human relationships.
Yeah.
Like, the reality is, not just watch and read other things, but be a fucking person. Also, not writing advice.
Yes.
99. Normalize friends saying I love you to each other. Not really writing
That's
advice.
not writing advice. Like, oh wait, let's do this. I love you, man.
100. 100. Yeah, I love you too. If you write a 100... Are you happy now, Lily? You can't do that mean video.
We're
This is more
normalizing,
now.
yeah, because we say that we love each other.
Anyway, if you write a 100 tweet long thread of writing advice, you are a huge loser with way too much free time on your hand. Get back to work and do something productive with your life. Yeah, making angry YouTube videos. See,
Lily!
that tweet at the end. See, no, the thing is, that's the final tweet. Other than the one tweet after that is tips and rules are two different words. But that thing, which is a perfect thing to end on, that might be a funny and ironic statement if Lily did literally anything other than this in her life.
Oh my god, Lily! This is just a rehash of all your videos, but it's all the takes that didn't take with people, so you're putting it on Twitter! The worst place to express any idea! Ah! And then you're gonna be at the end like none of this was all a social experiment. It didn't matter. None of these rules mattered. Like the whole time. Listen, folks at home.
What that is I'm hanging a lamp.
I've been saying the whole time. There's no stone. Don't worry about the etchings on other people's stones. There's nothing. There's nothing but your own frame of reference. Everybody is trapped within their own mind, their own perspective, and our minds contain a multitude of ideas, a whole universe even. So, in order to like boil down the barest like sort of like zeroed in laser focused element of our taste, we have to continue to consume. We have to continue to experience things. But that's not universal. The rest is communication. You have to talk to other people. You can't just use yourself as a backup. You have to be able to relate to what other people's ideas are and what they came to and their conclusions. And you have to be like, that's valid. Or, can we talk about that? Because I think you came to some weird conclusions.
Yeah, no, exactly. And ultimately, all that last tweet is hanging a lampshade on it, so if videos like the one we're currently recording and that you're currently watching ever come out, she can inevitably go, lol, look how butthurt these guys were about this. I wasn't even taking it seriously. You guys are the idiots here.
I relish it. I relish that moment. Come and get us! I'm ready! I'm ready!
Basically, what we've come down to is, thank God Lily Orchard isn't a real writer beyond lame fanfics and contrarian YouTube videos, because she would produce the most boring, anodyne coffee shop AU shit you have ever seen.
I can't believe how calm and like open-minded I started this video. I can't believe it compared to like how I feel at this moment with like you broke it. You broke me, Lily. You did it. You broke me.
We have watched a man go from, look, I disagree with her on a lot of things and she's like a contentious figure, but I respect her, to what a fucking moron.
like, because it's literally it went from like, there's some interesting things to be gleaned from the work of Lily Orchard to this person is exactly the problem with YouTube.
Yeah. Now this person is exactly the pretty looking child.
Oh boy, I can see it right now. It's hell, Henry.
And
it's hell.
And again, like, if you've made it this far in, also
Are you constantly missing deadlines or feeling overwhelmed because your to-do lists look like this? Well, keep watching because I have a solution for you. What if I told you that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts? This principle is called the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. If you just focus on the 20% that yields 80% of results, you can maximize your productivity. Now, most people struggle to identify their vital 20 and waste precious time sorting through
This is our show, Two Professional Writers, where Gus and I, a pair of writers who get paid for it, talk about tips. Usually ones about writing, and usually ones from...
So, our first tip of the day is from Ravioli.
Ah, a pasta. Interesting.
A paisan. Ravioli's tip is, Ben said, but make sure your characters aren't just saying or doing exactly what you would say or do in that situation. Give your characters unique voices and principles, instead of having them just be extensions of your own logic. Table reads and brainstorm with friends.
Yep, nope, I agree with all those, but I will say, it's totally okay to have one of your characters talk like you and have your own logic, as long as it isn't all of them.
Yeah, I think what I like to do is take, like, different elements of my personality, my logic, my, like, reasoning, my principles, and then just kind of, like, spread them out throughout the cast. Like, have characters have one of my traits, but crucially lack another that is present in a different character.
Yeah, no, it's true. It can be useful to just kind of spread things thin so you're not plagiarizing your own mind or the holistic existences of others. So yeah, I co-sign that.
I just wanted to end with like a quote from Gen Urobuchi because when he was writing Madoka Magica, he said,
Weeb.
Yeah, maybe. I've seen an anime or two, whatever. Gen Urobuchi, he's a really good writer. I'm a fan of a lot of his stuff. He said when he was writing the character of Kaname Madoka, who is the main character of Madoka Magica, that she didn't really come from him, so it was difficult to write her because there was nothing of himself in her. And I think sometimes, in order to really test your range, you've got to write characters like that who are just wholly alien to you.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you suck.
exactly, right? If you're a loser who sucks and
you're some fucking boring douchebag, you gotta go for someone interesting. Push the boat out.
If all you do is play Minecraft all day and eat popsicles, maybe you should write somebody who, gets bitches.
I don't know why we decided we're just gonna be so antagonistic. in this one, but I'm liking it.
Yeah, ravioli, it was a good tip.
Ravioli, give me the fuck off Oli. Next one.
So next up from Chris Lucier.
Chris Lucier. Vaguely familiar. That guy might owe me money. Alright, what is it?
People want to help, whether that means you need time alone to write or you need others to bounce ideas off of. Find a community that will support you and your ambitions with encouragement and tough love.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But I think I would also go for the other end of this, which is don't be a dick to people. Like, I think it's so important to remember because this is something that I really reckoned with this year and have tried my best to kind of work.
Isaac Gooch says, if you want to hone your skills and practice writing certain styles and genres, consider writing fanfiction of something you're familiar with. Even if you don't share it, it's a useful practice medium to experiment and play around with your ideas without being precious.
That is really good advice. From Gooch, I'm so sorry. That is really good advice. Like,
I agree. We were always saying that, like, you know, if you can get your start in fan fiction, if that's what it takes, like, you know, you care, you're passionate about a story that already exists, nothing wrong with playing around with it and creating, like, a theoretical, your own version through writing.
one, then said to everyone in that one, oh yeah, no. Please, give you. Did you ever see how? Very fair, judge me. But the home is like a Ben Stiller with this handlebar mustache.
First, from Noma UYS, bad power scale NG is bad writing. Make sure powers and abilities are consistent, and it's not if a weaker character beats a stronger one, but how.
Yeah, no, I agree with. that. Now after Isaac Gooch, every single name, I'm thinking, okay, what are you trying to get us to say here?
The reason I kept this in is because we have a video on this channel that gets, new comments every now and then, and it was a clip of Stan Lee that you sent to me at one point.
Yeah, that I said you really ought to re-upload this because it's Stan Lee. Talking about people always asked him like versus battles who would win, like Spider-Man or the Hulk, the Thing or Mr. Fantastic, whatever, all different stuff. And his answer is just, oh, the answer is so simple. Whoever wins is whichever one the writer wants to win. And so many people in the comments are like, that's a terrible way to write. Some characters are just stronger than others. Completely like not understanding that Stan Lee is saying. That it's all about the writer decides who should win for narrative purposes and then figures out an interesting and believable way for it to happen. Which I'm very sorry, like weird, like power scaling people who don't just do it for fun but do in fact think that it's a good approach to writing. It isn't actually that interesting to pull out your fucking abacus and all your graphs and just think, okay, numerically, who would win this? Oh, I guess the bad guy just stomps the good guy. End of story.
Yeah, and I think in Noma's tweet, that nuance is present because they end it by, going, it's not if a weaker character beats a stronger one, but how. Obviously you want some level of consistency, but also you want to create a compelling conclusion to any fight. If it comes down to, you saw the stat sheet before these characters fight, and then it's an immediate, just everything goes according to the stat sheet. That's the equivalent of a heist movie just having them lay out the plan, and during the montage of executing the plan, they get it right. And then they just go home, and they have all the money, and no complications happen. That's not fun. That's not interesting. That's not storytelling.
I've been thinking about like fight scenes and stuff a lot lately because of a project I'm working on that you'll find out sometime about later. Um, and I just think, yeah, you just don't want your fights to play out like that kind of infamous Deadliest Warrior video game from back in the day,
Yeah,
where basically the whole thing is it was so realistic. Basically, whoever strikes the first blow just kills the other one.
yeah, it's almost so realistic that somebody could like sprain their ankle mid battle and just die.
Yeah, and that's something that, like, in an abstract sense, you might think, oh, that's a bit different and interesting. But it's actually extremely tedious where you start the fight and the other guy just immediately throws a knife into your head and it's over.
Yeah, it's not exactly. It doesn't feel like a game. It doesn't really feel like fiction. It's kind of like just like yes, in real life, sometimes violence is pretty boring and then just results in a tragedy.
Yeah, sometimes it is just gruesome and quick. And hey, if you're trying to make that point, more power to you. But if you want something that's seen as like a fun battle thing, maybe don't just have two combatants square up, then the other just immediately like caves their head in with a mace and leave.
Exactly, exactly. Well, anyway, thank you, Noma.
Thank you, Noma.
Moving on to Isabella Malay, focus on your story and characters more than the story's message. It'll come off as preachy at best and propaganda as worst.
I don't disagree, but like, about when did people just decide that like theme is an enemy of story and character?
Yeah, that's the thing. Again, it's like the pyramid one we went over last
Yeah,
time.
it's like I just hate having that conversation.
Yeah, you know what? You know what I was gonna say about this one is that, if your story's message is something so far away from your characters and your story, it's not the message. Get a different, better message that fits the story you're trying to tell. Tell. Like, nothing is going to just not have meaning. And the more you try to, like, be like, well, the message is this, but I'm not going to make the story about that, the more you're going to just bumble into some other unintentional message.
Yeah, that's the thing. All narratives have themes. All of them have quote unquote messages, which, I don't even like, unless we're making like fucking after school specials about like not smoking and saving the environment. I don't think necessarily like any art needs to be like didactic, but every piece of art is going to be about something, and that's what theme is. And I think I don't know. I feel like it's just a lot of YouTubers because they naturally just need to, like us, constantly churn out new content, have to create new bizarre like dichotomies and talking points, even when they don't necessarily need to exist.
I mean, I don't want to put this all on Isabella Malay.
No, it's not Isabella Malay. I'm sorry.
I think it's unrelated, but like The Critical Drinker, for example, constantly talks about the message. It's one of those things where wrong and right there.
Yeah, no, exactly. That in itself is such a like to me.
But Henry, they live over there.
hope everything you're doing is...
And Apoy with those 18 plus sort of cross-out things either way.
Okay.
So behave, Sanban.
Yeah, I hope everything you're doing is above board, Sanban, because if not, I'm gonna have to denounce and reject you.
If you're gonna write about cultures or minority groups you're not familiar with, the easiest thing you can do is talk to folks of said minority groups. Ask them what they hate seeing about themselves in media and what they prefer.
Yeah, that seems like really good advice to me. We have some advantages in this area because a lot of what we write, whether it's like audio or like visual scripts for like animation and stuff like that, has the benefit of actors. Next.
So, from Amity L. Parker, one of the best things you can do for your characters is try to give them a distinctive way of speaking, even if it's only barely distinct. If each of your characters sound like the same person, you've done something wrong. Add on. Though it might be said that there's only so far you can take this, so try not to overthink it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's good advice. I think we have some advantages in this area. The next tip.
So, from Mushroom Macaroni.
Delicious. They should go with...
True, it's it's multiple ways to just basically art is better when it's made by a person for a person, and you need to become a more complete person in order to tell better art.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what's the next tip?
So from Mushroom Macaroni.
Delicious. They should go with ravioli.
Brainstorming ideas with friends is always great and fun, but remember to keep your own expectations and vision for what you're writing your own.
Yeah, no, I think ultimately this links back into just, know what you want and finish your work. Which is not to say you can't write things by committee, just if you want it to be just yours, then ultimately just
dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one, only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules. My life destroyed, a life destroyed. Until I walk awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero. Can I be your superhero? Superhero. 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 Can I be your superhero?
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. You search but you stay lost. We're reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious,
Faster. Running like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat. Like a hell. Like a Hellcat.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sun.
you could have.
If someone came up to me and said, I hate white people, I hate you because you're white, did I just experience racism from that?
No.
Are you? Are you sure about that?
But if I said those exact same words and twisted the skin color, it would be racist.
Absolutely, 100%.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
I did not go through that course of who can be racist towards each other. Interesting,
right.
but
Probably
I'm
because
good.
you're white. So
Oh, because I'm white, I didn't go through the racism course.
probably not.
That's the dumbest thing you could have said. What are you, an idiot?
Yes or no? Can white people experience racism?
No.
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 No?
No. By definition, no.
What's the definition?
I would have to. Google it really quickly, but
Do that for me.
okay, let me Google it for you.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Oh, not me on 5%.
Gotcha.
My phone's gonna die. He really used the oldest trick in the book. Google obviously wasn't showing him the definition he wanted to see. He literally said his statement and then added on by definition, and when she asked what's the definition, he said hang on, let me Google it. When you Google something you stand for, you've already lost that debate.
If you can change your gender, can you change your race?
No,
Why?
because that's just how you're born.
Isn't your gender how you're also just born?
Yeah, I see where you're getting with.
What an idiot!
Is it okay to be fat?
I think it's okay to be fat. You know, everyone has different lifestyle habits and their bodies are built differently.
I think people have like health issues that cause them to like not be able to lose weight as easily as others.
If people want to be overweight, let them do it. But they need to know of the risks that come with it, because saying it's healthy just ain't it. And the biggest person back in the day is now your average guy walking around.
See, this guy keeps on trying to bump me. Every time I walk by.
You right?
Dude, I'm walking down the street.
I'm standing here. I'm allowed.
Let him go sideways. Get out of my... Alright. Alex, you need to leave. I'm not leaving, guys. You're trying to get in my way.
You right?
See, this guy keeps on trying to bump me every time I walk by.
You right?
Dude, I'm walking down the street.
I'm standing here. I'm allowed.
Let him go sideways. Get out of my... Alright, Alex, you need to leave. I'm not leaving, guys. You're trying to get in my way.
Give me one good reason Caitlin Clark can't play in the NBA. height, weight, speed, vertical agility, strength. Caitlin Clark would not be able to play for her own men's basketball team, let alone an NBA team. TNF.
Got him.
Hello, Navarro. Suck any good lately. What's wrong, Navarro? I think you like a big in your mouth. Ha ha ha. Page 23. The other boy, page 23. What are you talking about? Here it is. Tell me kind. Get a shot of that. She can care less. That's a sign. She needs to put down her sign. For a second. Oh, you're putting me out. For what? For asking you to abide by the rules. A board member held up a sign, but the audience couldn't hold up signs. This is tyranny, and we're dealing with a corrupt government system.
So first off, she said inappropriate language, but they're allowing that book to be in the school. So you just contradicted yourself. If you're not going to let this man read it out in front of adults, why are you allowing kids to read it in flipping schools, mate? Of course he gets kicked out because they don't want people speaking out against it. These people sat on that table, they're the flipping enemy to our kids and our kids' futures and minds, man. They are the enemy.
So, refugees welcome, the perfect people. Folks, I'm just wondering, you're part of this organisation? You're a part of this organisation, yeah? I'm just wondering, I have a sign-up form. I'm just wondering, would you like to sign up? It's to have unvetted male migrants in your own home. Would you like to sign up? Sir? I'm not in a position. You're not in a position. So who would you suppose would house them then? Would anyone like to house unvetted male migrants in their home? One person? Anyone? I have a sign-up form. They're welcome. I don't have a house. There's a housing crisis. Who would like to house an unvetted male migrant in their home? Anyone? No one. My God. Absolutely no one. Zero. I literally have a sign-up form right here. So where do we house them? Where do we house them? It's a complex issue, just once you understand, but absolutely no one is going to house any of them in their home, unvetted male migrants. I'm just saying, you're a fucking clown. Okay, would you want to house male migrants in your home? Unvetted male migrants? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm just asking a question. I don't have a home. I'm not racist. I welcome refugees. Just where do we put them?
Got these muppets out on the street, you know, saying anyone is welcome, but no one's willing to take care of them. They leave that to other people. And I guarantee you, this bunch will be the first to complain when issues start to arise.
Charlie Kirk believes that TikTok is turning children trans.
This is Chloe Cole. She's a detransitioner.
In my experience, I learned about transgenderism through the internet at roughly about the age of 11 or 12. And I mean, it captivated me. I had body image issues, and it felt like I found the explanation for as to why I felt so different from the women around me. This has left permanent effects on my body. I might not be able to have children. I don't have my breasts anymore. I have complications from the puberty blockers, the testosterone, and the surgery.
That's
3
correct.
years after I've stopped taking all of them.
I'm very suspicious about. Okay, but I understand.
Calling her a liar?
That guy just got hit with the Uno reverse card. He was not expecting that. People are Chloe and her story really need to be publicized because the blue-haired liberals and their crazy ideology is far more dangerous, and that's being pushed on the children and vulnerable people.
And they're forced to race. That's just a fact.
You eat cows, correct?
No, I don't. I'm a vegan. I don't eat any animals. Anyone.
That explains a lot.
So now you know that I'm completely anti-animal abuse.
Am I in the wrong book for eating meat?
If you're eating someone else, you're forcing them into a murder factory. Of course that's in the wrong.
That's being rude. People that are vegan, that's their right to be vegans. But it's not your right to say to someone that they shouldn't be eating meat.
It's not your right to force animals to be shot in the head because you like the taste of their bodies.
Listen,
what about their rights? I'm here for their rights.
Let's go back to biblical standards and see if it's right.
So she's allowed to have an opinion, but he's not. You never hear a vegan go on about the billions of bees and other small animals that die because they want their plant-based food. You never hear him mention that.
These confused people, and they were lying, and I think they knew what they were doing. Do you intend to further create the bias that reduces people's ability to collaborate with others through your use of collective umbrella terms like us and opposition of them? And why do you continue to promote that division?
Well, because those are my pronouns, and I would ask you to affirm and respect my pronouns. there's no, I think perhaps you're just suggesting we fall silent and shut up, which is what the left has been telling us to do. It's why so many people desperately tried to shut down this speech tonight, because I think they're afraid of hearing very simple truths. I'm not going to shut up. I will not shut up. We will not shut up. They will not shut up. And that's the way it goes. And that's the way it goes. Next question.
That girl's face just says it all. I mean, just so filled with hate and confusion. You know, look at the face on it, man. It looks evil. I'm just glad that I'm not as miserable as those people, man.
Would you date a transgender person?
I don't see why not. I don't think it's like that big of a deal.
Are you sure about that?
If you're dating a transgender person and you're straight at the time, does that mean you're straight after you date them?
Yes. Yeah. I think you're still straight. Like you're a guy and you're dating a trans girl. Yeah, I think you're still straight. Because also sometimes it's just hard to tell.
You're still straight even if you're dating a transgender person?
Yes.
If you could be with your boyfriend currently, and I waved a magic wand and I said you can make $1 million a year and never do porn again, would you?
No.
Okay.
He's used the wand. You can make $1 million a year.
Yeah.
You don't have to do, the adult. Content.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't have to do it. That would be great, but I would still want to do it. Personally, like, I'm an exhibitionist. I love, like, putting my self out there for other people to see, for other people to, like, you know, themselves to have fun with.
Can I ask you a question? Since you're about presenting yourself to the world, do you have a good relationship with your father?
Okay, here we go.
No, I don't talk to him.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
She belongs to the streets.
She's still young. Let's ask that question again in 10 years. That girl is all levels of broken in ways that never can be fixed. I mean, she will regret this. And this should be on TV as a flipping advert as to why fathers are needed. Because all these girls have daddy issues, man, and they are a perfect result of a father being absent.
You see, I'm sure you've seen the guy in Canada, the 50-year-old man that identifies as a 15-year-old girl and got to change in the young girls' locker room and got to compete with these young girls. It's utter, complete insanity.
Psychosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, you're 50. You're not 15. Period. That's not negotiable.
Yeah.
You know, you live a certain amount of time. Period. You can't say I identify as a baby and then wear diapers and have everybody take care of you. That's fucking crazy.
So you're asking me to change the actual meaning of words to accommodate you. I'm not going to do that.
No,
I'm
that's not the request,
do
though.
that. It is, because not only is it a request, you can now get in trouble in certain states
I'm saying that's not
for
people's
misgendering someone.
The request of the trans community is not that I'm actually a man, but I want you to pretend I'm a woman. The argument of the trans community, which I agree with, is no, I am a woman.
Stop it. Get some help.
And so I want you to revert me.
But you're not a woman. So that's the problem. So this is what I say is now you've asked me to take on your mental disorder, right? So I am okay with the fact, the argument from my uncle who thinks he's a, Native American from a certain tribe is that this is what he thinks. He thinks, but he's not. Okay, so I'm not, then to say to me that argument is valid because he thinks it, no. Just because you think something doesn't make it real.
Sensational.
Okay?
But that's exactly what gender is. Gender is exactly about an experience and a performance and a social construct.
It's not a social construct. Stop saying a social construct. To say that word don't have meaning and they're socially constructed means nothing, and I'll tell you why.
They are.
But you say that, but then
This wasn't always a book. This could be called mug.
So
It
then
just happens not
you know
to
what
be.
it is? Our entire discussion about Black America meant nothing. There's no such thing as racial injustice. See what I did there? Because Black is a social construct.
Got him. Yeah, but we live in a social reality. So within that social reality,
It can't be both, Mark. So you either
Sure it
think
can
that
be.
the gender wage gap is BS, that feminism is wrong, and that racial disparities are all BS because everything's a social construct. You're either going to go full postmodernist and say nothing is real and it's all made up, or you're going to acknowledge that there are some hard, concrete truths. If there are hard, concrete truths, you and I are Black, okay? That's not going to change because we wake up and we decide, you know what, today I'm white and it's just how I feel, and today I'm Chinese. No. You and I are Black, okay? We are acknowledged as Black people. We're sitting down as Black people. I am a woman. You are a man, okay? Now, if I want to wake up tomorrow and say I'm a man, you want to say you're a woman, and we want to play the crazy game, we can do that. To then say all of society now is to pretend that it was all a social, no, it was a social contract. You were born a male. I was born a female.
Yes, that's a sex.
We are Black.
Is this guy for real? I mean, does he actually hear himself? I mean, how he doesn't feel embarrassed to act and talk like this, is beyond me. He's either a flipping idiot, well, we already know he's an idiot, but he either knows what he's saying is BS because he doesn't want to get cancelled, or he genuinely believes that garbage. This guy right here, I don't know how these people sleep at night. They are part of the problem.
So my physical height is 5'9", but I identify as 7'1". I've always felt taller than other people.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
How many genders are there?
No.
Huh?
I think it's like it's. You can do whatever the you want to do.
No, yeah.
And it's just like that question.
Say that.
It's like, why are you asking that question?
No, that's the
so
answer.
She's asking you back.
So okay, okay. That's the answer.
That question shouldn't even be a question.
I mean, we're just all in the community asking questions that like we all talk about.
It's really sad. Bro, what are you talking about, man?
How many genders are there?
The many. Keep going, huh?
What did that just mean? Absolutely no idea what the second guy said, but that question you know, to us, that's we could probably answer that when you're flipping 3 years old, but in 2024 that seems to be the impossible question, doesn't it? And you know, in the comments of this video, man, it's, I mean, gender reveal parties are transphobic. I mean, man, I don't even know what to say, bro.
Brother, what's that?
We're doing good, so we came here to party. Where's the party? No, you didn't, Alex. We want to party. We're here to party. We want to party.
You're too old for this.
Yeah, I'm old enough.
Stop kicking us out.
Yeah, stop with so much hate. Spread love here. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to hang out. I thought people would be more inclusive. They're being very exclusive so far, but it's okay. Over time, we'll wear them out. People will relax over time. You guys can talk to us. We're just trying to be friends.
I don't want to be on camera.
He's not trying to be.
Oh my God! I swear, I'm dude. We got some pretty ladies here. 3 pretty ladies together. That's all it takes. Seriously, we're just trying to bring awareness. Do you not like my outfit? I look okay.
Are you trying to mock the trans community?
No, I am part of it. I'm gender fluid. I'm trans myself, so I can wear. What are you talking about? See, why do they get to decide who's trans and who isn't? That's it. These people.
We know you, Alex.
What? And I'm also Alexandria. I wear this outfit a lot.
Got him.
Listen, man, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear dresses, like this man right here. They get to decide who's trans and who's not. He hit the nail on the head there, didn't he? He just owns them with their own logic. It's actually funny. And as the clip goes on, these people actually mock Alex's recently passed mother, which is just next level disgusting. He's doing the Lord's work, man.
Drag is holy.
There has been an assault on the rights of drag performers in this country, and we must call out the hypocrisy and the injustice. Jesus called himself a mother hen longing to gather up her chicks. Gender is a construct, you see. And if Jesus can be a mother hen, then you can dress in drag. I've even heard it said that Jesus was, and humanity is, God in drag.
So the question we're asking today is, should squatters have rights?
Do landlords have rights?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Do we have a right to exclude people from the things that we need? Is housing, do we take things that people need to live? And say, you have to deserve to be able to live and have access.
I don't think it's a deserve situation. Everyone deserves to have a home, but can you afford it? Are you taking over it illegally?
So this kind of goes to the idea, do billionaires really earn their wealth? I believe yes. That they don't. I believe that capitalism, there is no capitalism without exploitation. Okay. That is inherent to it, the system. So we see billionaires, we're like, they earn their wealth.
Socialism is also all about exploitation.
I'm talking about this. Okay, when we see homeless people, do they not deserve anything just because they don't have money?
I don't think anyone is saying that.
But that's how we treat them as our society.
That's not how I treat them.
No, that's how we treat. That's why we have homeless people.
Is that how you treat them?
No, I can't.
Okay, well, you're saying we, and I'm not including myself in that we.
Collectively.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
Man, I can't believe we're even having these conversations. Like, so these people agree that someone can just walk into your house, which is probably taking you half your life to buy, if you can buy a house these days, depending on where you're at, and, you know, just move in and have some rights, you know? Are you crazy? Like, if I come home and there's some guy sat on my sofa and my wife is in the house, man, I'd catch a flipping M charge right there and then.
Society's just made for white people.
Why would you say that?
When black women are pregnant, when they're in delivery rooms, they're often taken less serious because of the idea that black people have like a higher pain tolerance. It's generally like, oh, that woman, she'll be fine. She's just, you know, It's just normal things. But if you search it up, black women's maternal health compared to white women's maternal health, there's a very vast difference.
Stop it. Get some help.
Why do the liberals ruin everything, dude? Yo, I tried to play FIFA online last night for the first time.
Don't tell me.
The libs butt FIFA so badly. Of course, the female players are in there. So your team's ladies. And their ratings are the same.
What?
The first player I got was like a 91 overall lady. I immediately traded her. I took a 60 overall Korean goalkeeper over her. I was like, dude. Every single female player I got, no matter what their rating was, quick sell for 0. Sold them for free. To get them off my roster. I trafficked them. I just get rid of them.
And they're coming for the video games as well, and I didn't even know that in FIFA. But you know, that clearly says that they must be just as good as the guys. You know? They must be just as good. They must get paid the same as well then.
I was just fooling.
We stopped Just Stop Oil from pissing everyone off.
And I just wonder why you decided it was very important to do this. You look at the T-shirt.
We just want to stop pissing people off.
Flow free, traffic of London. Look, there's an ambulance getting through traffic. It's incredible.
64% of the population don't agree with your tactics, so they're not going to affect change.
75% of the public agree that climate change is a problem. You're not helping.
We agree with you. We think your motives are good. You're very welcome to leave at any point.
So how did we get the right to the weekend?
The band?
It was the enslaved communities who started burning down the plantation.
I think rush hour is finished. Please stop pissing everyone off. Thanks, guys.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Just Stop Oil protest at an electric car race. I mean, that makes sense. So these people protesting, do they live an oil-free life then? Hey, at this rate, I might as well join Just Stop Oil because they seem to get the front row tickets at every event.
I eat plenty of vegan meat.
Vegan meat? That's like saying, I've got loads of nighttime days.
Did God tell you to murder animals?
No, murder is a legal term. You cannot murder an animal. You can kill an animal, but you're using legal terms.
By definition, murder is taking someone's life, whether they're a human.
Life.
Well, non-human animals are somewhat.
All right, will you marry a donkey?
No, I'm not interested in that.
All right, well, it's not a person then.
No, non-human animals are people. Are you against animal abuse?
Here to do one thing. Type in vegan parents jailed, and you will see thousands of stories from around the world of vegan parents thrown in jail for starving their children.
Do you think 12-year-olds should be taught LGBTQ topics in school?
Yes. Yes. It should just be completely normalized from the beginning. It shouldn't be introduced one day as some new and unique and like odd spectacle topic. I think all kids should just grow up thinking that any type of love is normal.
At the age of 12, you're in 6th grade, you're going to middle school, you're going to open up your mind to things that you wouldn't have in elementary school, so I feel like, yeah, why not?
There's no harm. No one's going to get hurt. It's fine. It shouldn't be that big of a deal.
You finished?
Man, if I had kids, first of all, I would probably try and get them homeschooled for a start. 2, I would teach them reality. Reality. That's what I would be teaching them, man. And God knows what 2025 is going to be like.
It's always going to affect my life. I can't take off my skin color. As a black woman, like, prejudices that exist against me don't exist against you, Brian. And that's why you can't be racist against a white person. So I'm sorry if you feel offended, but you are white, and me calling you white boy isn't exactly
It's a bit.
racist.
I mean, you are addressing me by my skin color. I consider
Your
it a
skin
bit.
color will never lead to the, what is it, premature murder of yourself. Like, I don't know, like.
I would actually point out one thing to you. Me as a white man, I'm the only male at this table here. There are more white men killed by police officers than women of any race combined.
I mean, then why aren't you mad? Why don't you hate police too?
Because I realize that police are a necessary function of society. Without police, it would be chaos. We need police officers.
And going through life with a victim mentality is never ever a good thing. It's not healthy to live like that, man. That girl is just walking through life as a victim. And man, I wouldn't recommend that for anyone.
Just because someone gets rich doesn't mean someone gets poor.
Yes, it does.
Explain that
In
to
this
me.
society, it does.
Explain that to me.
As
When you
someone
bought
gets
bought
richer-
your hat, who got poor?
The people who made the hat.
They voluntarily contributed their labor
did
and they
not.
got paid for it.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then
and
why
that
would you buy
everyone's
it?
wearing. Because there's no other options in our capitalist country. There are no other options in our capitalist
That's
country.
totally and factually incorrect. Make your own clothes.
There aren't. Aren't very many options for that.
Well, so what you're trying to say is you outsource your goods and services in a capital voluntary because you don't
think
want to
it's okay
spend the
for
time to
people
go
to be
make your own clothes.
Basing an entire economic system on capital, on wealth, is not the best for each person in the world.
So you would want to live in a communal society, essentially, right? So why don't you go live like the Amish right now and go do it because they live in a communal society?
That's not the point.
Gotcha.
Man, Charlie Kirk remains undefeated. Her lights are on, but no one is home, man. I just really like how he humbles them so quickly and they've got nothing to say. Just makes me have a better day. Okay, guys. Today's quote of the day is: always maintain a level of mystery. There's zero upside in letting people know exactly how you feel and what you're thinking at all times. This is very true. I mean, when I was younger, I was sold on the fact that girls wanted a guy who wore his heart on his sleeve, and that is far from the truth. And if you don't believe me, man, go and try it. The world does not care about your problems. Only a few close people, like close friends, your mother. Whatever your dreams and goals are, you should pursue them regardless. No matter how you feel, if you're happy, sad,